Hi everyone, I'm Jay Sayers. Today we've got an unboxing and we're going to be taking a look at Axis Allies and Zombies. This is a recent purchase I made, and that was following a YouTube video on weird and strange board games. So if you haven't checked that out, please do have a look. So let's dive straight in and see what we've got. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is obviously the front of the box. Let's have a look at the rear of the box. So we've got some really nice overview of the minis, which is a really good price. £30 has cost me. It's about the same price in America and similar countries. So let's dive straight in and see what we've got. This is where you take about half an hour opening the box, trying to get the shrink wrap off. So let's take a look. There we go. See what goodies we've got. So this is actually based on an original Axis and Allies which came out in the early 80s. And recently they brought out an anniversary version, I believe, which is quite recently. And this was the follow-up, the Zombies version. So let's see what we've got inside. Right, so we've got a rule book. It's the first time I've actually seen shrink wrap on a rule book. That's because I've got a player aid with some tokens there. So we'll take a look at that in a second. We've got the game board. Let's take a look. See what we've got. I'm actually quite a fan of this board, as you can see. I think the design of it is really nice. I think it's clear. As you can see, it's quite a good sized board. It's quite long. So I don't know if you can actually see how long that is. It's fairly long and not too wide, but really clear on the names, the icons. The colours are quite clear as well. I actually like the look of this board. The quality of it, it's not too bad. It's not ultra thick, but it's okay, it's fine. But I like the look of it. It almost has that kind of the blue of the kind of pandemic feel to it. I really like this. Text is a little small here, as you can see this chart. Let's take a look and see what else we've got inside. So we've got some minis, as you can see. Now, obviously we won't expect to see the quality that Kill Mini have got, but nevertheless for £30 you can't expect much, as we can see. Look at the quality of that. It's actually not too bad. You can see that there's some decent detail to these minis. And we've got a boat, which is quite basic. So they're not too bad. We've got the zombies as well. Let's take a look at these. So as you can see, we have a zombie. So it's not too bad. They're all the same. There's nothing distinctive about them. As you can see, they're all the same. So what else do we have? Paper money, which I absolutely hate. I mean, to be honest, I will probably change these to tokens. We've got some cards, which I'll look in a sec. As you can see, and there'll be some more cards. So let's take a look inside and see what's in the cards. This is where you spend half an hour trying to get the wrapper off, and certainly it takes me about half an hour, but thankfully these are really easy. So let's have a look. So as we can see, cover's all the same, and got different types of cards. So the quality of them, they're okay. They're fine, they're not that thick. I mean, for £30 I'm not expecting much. They're quite basic. Just don't expect great quality, but it's fine, it'll do, it's decent enough. And if you're expecting better quality. And this is where I spent forever trying to get this off. So as we can see, so clear text. The design, as you can see, it's all the same. There's nothing different. Escalation. So the backs of them are all the same. We've got some dice as well. Let's have a look at these. So these look decent. We've got some icons on the dice. Look pretty clear. So let's take a look at them. As we can see, it's really clear. Decent quality actually. They're quite light, but they feel nice and rounded, which is good. So we've got a black one there. Looks like there we go, skull. And the reds is exactly the same. So they're fine, and we've got these tokens which you place underneath the units that determine the number of units you have of that type. And these little discs, they're fine. They're a little bit bendy, but they're decent quality. Nothing spectacular, and that's pretty much it. So let's take a look at the rule book. So we've got the obviously different player colours, quite generic. I suppose if you're colourblind, you might struggle with some of these colours, but brown and green is pretty easy to see. None of the colours are too popping. They kind of blend into the background of the board, so that might be problematic if you are colourblind. But let's take a look at the rule book and these boards and player boards. Let's see if we can get these open. It's going to be a challenge. We spent half an hour trying to get this thing off. There we go. Okay, so got the rule book, good index, a lot of small writing, some diagrams, which is nice. The quality is quite cheap. I mean, this is just standard paper, but it looks fine. It's not the prettiest of rule books. Then again, this was originally done in the 80s, so we're not expecting anything spectacular. I would have liked a few more diagram examples. It doesn't seem to be a huge amount. There's a lot of text, so it seems to be quite a lot of rules, but from looking at some of the playthrough videos, the rules seem clearly quite straightforward. And then we've got a nice helpful guide at the back. Let's take a look at these. So this player board's quite flimsy, but it's fine. It'll do. It's clear. Nothing spectacular. And we've got some tokens here, and you can see by the thickness that it's okay. It's fine. There's nothing spectacular. They're quite thin. But then again, for £30, what are we expecting? So we've got the setup cards here, and we've got some more tokens, as we can see. So all in all, that's the contents. Is fine. And it's more about the gameplay and how that plays than just the contents itself. But they're fine, they're okay. Nothing special, nothing spectacular. The minis actually were quite decent. They're small, but the quality of them seemed okay, seemed fine. Nothing to the standard of Cool Mini or not, but for £30, you can't complain. This is actually pretty decent in terms of the amount of content you get. Lots of cards, lots of little minis for £30. I think that's really good. One good thing about this game is the insert, which is really good, and for £30 you can't complain. Just some of the other resources we've got. This is really cool. Little aeroplane. Nothing amazing, but hey, that's super fun. And I'm sure we've got a tank somewhere. Oh, what's this? It's not a machine gun, is it? What else we got? There's a tank. There we go. So that's really cool. And this is, yeah, this will be absolutely great. I feel like I'm fighting against not only my opponent, but my zombies as well. And I have to say, there are 2 different types of zombies, which is great. So we've got this one, which is really good. I don't know if you can see that well. There we go, so decent. And we've got this type. So, yeah, they're fine. Overall, for £30, I'm really happy with this. You can see space for the cards. The problem is, if you put sleeves in these, you are not going to fit them in because they really are hitting right against the edge. So there's actually no room whatsoever, which is a bit unfortunate. Apart from that, really happy. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.